Everyone rise for flag salute.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for attending tonight's regularly scheduled council meeting on September 22nd, 2022. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Egg Harbor City Common Council was provided in the following manner. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the Egg Harbor City Hall bulletin board. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the Egg Harbor City website. Advance written notice of this meeting was sent to the Hamilton Gazette, the News Press, and the Current. The meeting is being conducted via Zoom and conference call. The meeting is also being recorded to air on the Egg Harbor City website, Channel 97, and the Egg Harbor City Facebook page. Mayor, roll call, please.
Mayor Jim Petty. Here. Antonisi. Here. Brown. Here. Dash.
Here.
Heiss. Here. Hesse. Here. Timbers.
Here.
Trithol.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
And Ritchie.
Here. I have a motion to approve the minutes from September 8th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody from the public that has any comments on any item agenda?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's Nanette Galloway, 349 Buffalo. I have questions on practically every resolution here. So let me know if I'm taking too much of your time. First of all, resolution 15, the compensation for additional work and retiree benefits. On Article 8, on the salaries, it says that Keith Adams will get a stipend of $20,000 retroactive to 2020. Is that a one-time total, $20,000, or is that an annual amount?
Okay, out of respect, Ms. Galloway, I would like to move to the presentation from the mayor, because we do have a full house tonight, many representatives from Wimberger.
Okay,
All right, so we can.
Yeah, that's
can we
fine.
continue? All right,
Okay.
thank you.
right.
Mayor, the floor is yours for your presentation.
Well, we waited a long time for this, and it's so nice to see everyone here. It just shows how much Lloyd meant to everyone here. We have representatives from Wimberg's Funeral Home, Fire Department, KeyRec, and who else? Am I missing anybody? And family, probably. So I would like to make a presentation to the Wimberg family, and Charlie would come up. So before I do the presentation, I would just like to take a little time to say a few things about Lloyd. Not personally, I'll do that afterwards, but a few things that, were in his obituary that I wanted to share with everyone in case someone doesn't know who Lloyd is, but I can't imagine that. Can't imagine that. So, as we know, Lloyd was the owner and operator of Wimberg Funeral Home in Egg Harbor City and the one in Galloway. He was a graduate of St. Nicholas Grammar School here in Egg Harbor City, Holy Spirit High School, Atlantic Community College, American Academy McAllister Institute of Funeral Services in New York. He had an outstanding record for volunteerism. I think Lloyd was involved in every single organization that used to be in Egg Harbor City. Some other things we have here is the Atlantic County Freeholder, Egg Harbor City Council member, Egg Harbor City Ambulance Squad, member of the Knights of Columbus Council 3500, Master Mason of MB Taylor Lodge 141, member of the Red Meg Kickapoo Tribe, Egg Harbor City Historical Society, Kiwanis Club of Egg Harbor City, member of Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish, formerly St. Nicholas Church, member of the Egg Harbor City Rotary, Chamber of Commerce, where I believe he was the president, sat on the board of Mortuary Science for 8 years, and the nearest and dearest to his heart, I think, besides all you guys sitting here, was the harbor master of Egg Harbor City. Am I right?
That's right.
So my experience with Lloyd, real quick, is he was just one of the most kindest and most generous person that you could ever want to know. And the best part about Lloyd is he obviously was homegrown in Egg Harbor, and he loved Egg Harbor City, and he loved Philadelphia Avenue. He loved the Crusaders. He loved the lake. Everything in Egg Harbor he loved, but he did pay special attention to, some things more than others, but he still contributed to every single thing that he could. So when I was the treasurer for Crusaders Youth, every year he would give me a very large check and he'd say, here, Lisa, if you need more, you call me and let me know. That's how he was. He didn't care about money. He would just give because he loved those kids and he wanted to make sure that the Crusaders stayed in business. Obviously, he contributed to the Egg Harbor City, along with Crusaders. He contributed to the Egg Harbor City Fire Department, local churches, local schools, and all fundraisers. Curiously enough, some of you may or may not know that in 2007, we had an after-school program at Rittenberg. The Egg Harbor, Rittenberg School. Confused. And he was actually the person who started the Scarecrow adventure that we're still on now. He donated clothes, suits, ties, whatnot to the school, to the after-school program, and they assembled the Scarecrow. So that tradition has continued since then. So it was actually Lloyd that started that. He also was the one who bought the planters, the original planters, the little rectangular ones. We bought 6 of them, or he bought 6 of them for Philadelphia Avenue, and that started the flower program in Egg Harbor City. He also contributed to the tree lighting. For many years, we wished we had a tree, or, I don't want to say fake, but it is fake, a fake tree. So we didn't have to keep putting up a tree every year and taking it down or finding a tree. And he contributed a lot of money to that. So this year, I intend to name the tree lighting in honor of him. It will be the Lloyd Wimberg Annual Tree Lighting Service. So, see everybody out there, okay? Wear your shirts. You can visit with Santa. Santa's not here tonight, but he's out west, right? Santa's out west. So I'm going to present this, and then what we'll do, if you don't mind, I would like to ask if there's anybody who would want to say a few words about Lloyd. Maybe you have a memory you want to share, and go from there, see how it goes. But I think it's important that we do honor him because he was such a wonderful person, and we really have a great loss there in Egg Harbor City without him. So, on behalf of City Council and I would like to proclaim Lloyd Wimberg, Egg Harbor City's Harbor Master, in perpetuity.
Well, clearly, Lisa's speechwriter and mine were the same. So she pretty much said everything. But I do have to say 2 quick things. I don't want to take up a lot of time. First of all, it's kind of ironic that he's the harbor master in perpetuity because Lloyd loved to tell the story of Egg Harbor. And I'll never forget one time he picked me up in my boat and he drove me all the way back up the river somewhere. I have no idea where we were. He stopped the boat, gave me a cup of coffee, and spent, and we all know this, 50 minutes giving me the history of where Egg Harbor originally was and the eggs and then how it moved. And so we called Lloyd 80/20 because he was a historian like no other historian. He knew more about this city, the buildings of the city, the people of the city, but he always had that little twist of embellishment. And so therefore, we called him 80-20. I have to tell you, to this day, I believe 100% of that story, and I believe it to be true. And then I'll just say one other thing. If Lloyd was here today, he would not want this. What he would want is he would want the recognition from the organizations that he helped. He wanted to make sure that those organizations, that Crusaders, that whatever, the fire department, whatever organization, individuals that asked him for help, that they got the help that they needed. It was never about that for him. And he never wanted any, accolades or, and again, the other thing was he could never say no. So he loved this town. He loved the people of this town, and he loved the business of this town. And on behalf of my family and our Doug and Marco and the Winberg Funeral Home family, we want to thank you, Lisa, and we want to thank you, council, for this honor. We're very grateful for it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thing I have to say, because I forgot, because I wasn't looking at my notes, but also the Cedar Creek flags that you see on Philadelphia Avenue. Lloyd purchased those that I requested. Lloyd, we need flags, we need this, he's like, no problem, order the flags, send me the bill. So those flags you see were from Lloyd. So,
And Lisa, let me just say, it is currently our commitment to live up to what Lloyd believed in, what he stood for, and how he helped the community. So we have no plans to change anything wherever we can.
yes,
I mean, again, Lloyd did a lot,
and you already have.
and we're going to continue that. There we go.
Would anybody like to say anything? I know, Gary, you're never at a loss for words, but I heard you wanted to sing, but I don't know. Come up here, Gary, so we can see you.
Say your name where you live.
I think everybody knows that. Yeah, we just came as Egg Harbor City Key Rec here. All the members you see in the back, they're all members of Key Rec. And we just came here basically to support all that Lloyd has done for us over the years. His generosity, towards the program, he would stop by with Doug at the field, say, you guys are doing a beautiful job. Anything you need, call me. And that's the kind of guy Lloyd was. He was always there to help us out, anything we needed, and he would do it for us. And I know everybody in this town is really Mrs. Lloyd, even to a point. I went to a funeral the other night, the funeral home, and I heard someone there that I didn't even know say, this is really amazing that Lloyd's not sitting in that chair to greet everybody when you come in the door. So it was kind of sad, but every time he walked in, there was Lloyd, and he did so much outside of, say, organizations, not only for Egg Harbor City, for Galloway, for surrounding communities that none of us in this room would ever know. Lloyd wasn't a person that bragged about what he did. He would just do what he had to do, and that's the way Lloyd was. So I know all of Egg Harbor City will miss him. We will all miss him, at Key Rec. He helped us sponsor so many projects that we had over there, and he will be missed by all of us.
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah.
And
Easy peasy.
I'm not sure exactly of the date, but there's going to be a dedication at the field. The signs, if anybody's been over to the field at the announcer building, are on the building up. And it says Lloyd A. Winberg Memorial Field. So the football field will be dedicated in memory of Lloyd. And I believe that's going to be at the homecoming. I'm not 100% positive, but that's talking to Charlie and Doug. That's what it's going to be. So if anybody gets a chance, ride by the field and, look at the signs.
You probably
And
see it from.
I have, pardon me?
You can see them from Deer Street.
And over the years, I just would like to say the Leak family was there from the beginning of this program all the way until basically Mr. Leak passed away. And then after Mr. Leak passed away, Mrs. Leak had a foundation, which helped us out. And then that's when Lloyd kind of stepped to the plate, when he really knew we had no other fundraisers basically coming in to help us with all the projects that we did over there. I mean, we did numerous projects. with the help of both of them, fence projects, building projects, irrigation projects. I mean, nobody really has any idea what goes on over there until you're there and you see all the things that have to be done. Just see what you have to do at your own home, let alone what you have to do at a complex like that, where there's always, needed repairs. And thank God for the guys that we got on the board. We got guys in every trade back here that, we get together, we meet, we decide what's got to be done, and we get it done. We just recently put a new sign up for the Leak family on the corner, and planted flowers all underneath of that, and recognize the Petrosh family for all they've done. So there's a lot of people over the years that have helped us out, but I just want to thank everybody for your time, and God bless all you.
If you don't mind.
The one time that Lloyd truly impressed me was I was going in to get mail at the Culver City Post Office, and Mr. Johnson, who I went to school with, on the bicycle, the crippled guy on the tricycle. I'm standing there in front of the thing, coming out of the post office, and he's pulling up on the tricycle, and Lloyd pulls in with a driver. I don't know who it was at the time, and puts mail in the box. And I'm standing there. I always have to sign his book, Mr. Johnson's book, and all that kind of stuff. And Lloyd looks out of the car and goes, "Are you ready for a new bike yet?" And he gets a big smile on his face. "Yeah, I could go for a new bike." Says, "We'll go shopping for a new bike together." Somebody took him or them somewhere and had a new bike made. And this is, maybe 5 or 7 years ago. So that's like just out of the, you're ready.
Well, I do thank everyone for coming tonight. I know we could talk about Lloyd forever. I mean, we didn't even talk about his golf cart, we didn't talk about that. But, thank you. And
Lisa, I have one thing I just thought of
yes, sure.
with Halloween coming. There's going to be many disappointed trick or treaters.
We'll be there.
Big candy bars. Those kids would run up those steps and come back with that full-size Hershey bar. It was like, "Hey, I didn't see that." And the fact that all the dinners in Moravian Church, you knew when it was time to open those doors because Lloyd came in first and sat down, and he never missed one of them.
Our plans are to continue as much of that as we can when we think we can continue most. So
That's awesome. You're
we're
going
not
to make a lot of
I
little
think
kids
that's part of
happy.
his legacy to do all that, especially the candy bar.
Yeah.
And the kids' eyes got this big. They got their eyes got this big.
Absolutely. My 33-year-old son said that when he passed away. He goes, "What's going to happen to all the big candy bars?"
And you guys recognize me, I'm Derek.
Oh, yeah, I know. And one last thing just reminded me that Stanley Weiner, another in Culver City homegrown boy, he donated the plaque to the.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good.
Yes. Don't feel obligated. Thank you.
Highway.
Mayor, thank you for that great presentation. Much appreciated. Well deserved. So moving on now with the regular scheduled agenda. Ms. Galloway, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right, if you can just fire off one at a time for us instead of
Okay.
from all, that would be.
I was just curious to know if the $20,000 for a keep is a one-time thing or is that an annual?
So I'm gonna turn that question over to our labor attorney, Mr. Bill Blaney, who's present tonight.
It's gonna be broken out in months, but most of them are gonna be retro going back, and it does end. It ends this year. So it will be, I guess if you look at it, it's a one-time thing. It's not gonna continue in perpetuity
But it's $20,000 for that whole time period.
for that whole time period, correct?
Okay.
So it covers about 2 years. We take it.
Okay. And do we currently provide insurance for spouses?
For spouses, yes, and for current employees, we provide insurance for spouses, correct?
So this change to the contract says that they're going to be paying the supplemental to Medicare?
So, no, so what it does is it opens up a small window of about 3 or 4 months, where if an employee retires during that time period, they will be eligible for retiree health benefits. I think only one employee is probably going to qualify for that if he decides to go and retire during that time frame.
But it's for the spouse.
It's for, yeah, the employee in question would be over 65 years old, so it would be the wrap for his Medicare, Medicaid, and then it would be the spousal coverage till the spouse reaches 65. And
So if
it's
the
eligible
spouse
for
is
stuff.
40 years old, you're going to have to pay that for that whole time period? Is that right?
That would be right, but the spouse is not 40 years old.
Is this for one particular person or this is part of?
It would open to anybody that qualifies, but looking at it, only one person qualifies.
Okay, and so the supplemental, I just wanted to say, I pay $1,600 a year for my supplemental on Medicare. And
Correct.
the company pays like $8 per claim. So in essence, it's totally unnecessary to have that supplemental $1,600. Medicare covers a lot. But, you know, I when I signed up for Medicare, I got a supplement and it's a lot of money. It's $400 a quarter and they pay very, very little towards these claims.
So I will tell you that'll expire when the spouse reaches 65. So that'll expire when the spouse reaches 65 and is eligible.
And who is the coverage with? Is it the city's insurance company?
It's all through the
they
state
go out
health
on their own?
benefits plan. So
Okay.
there's a state health benefits plan that's run by the state. All of our public employees are part of that plan. And they provide by statute for retiree coverage under certain circumstances.
Okay. All right, I understand. Thank you. Let me see, what was that? Was that one. The emergency bond that you're issuing for 1 point, whatever, a lot. It's a lot. Why is this an emergency?
Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that over to our CFO so she can explain in detail.
Okay,
The ordinance is not an emergency, but you need a down payment for an ordinance, and we don't have enough capital improvement fund money sitting out there to make the down payment. So in order to fund the down payment, we're doing an emergency appropriation, and then if we get
I
funding.
understand that, but why are we doing it at this time? Why not wait until, after January? Why are we putting it in this year's budget? Why does it have to be put in this year's budget?
The city is looking into purchasing a fire truck. So in order the price is going up as of November 1st, so the ordinance would have to be in effect before that. To be able to, plus we have some roads that we have been waiting to kind of get started to do the project, so we can't really move forward without it, so in order to be able to move forward with the projects as well.
And
We do it now, if we do it now, it's gonna save out the city $160,000 in the long run of the price of the truck.
Um,
The emergency now, it doesn't get funded till
Yeah.
next year, so it's basically this, it doesn't really matter if we do it this year or next year, not funding
okay.
for the
Um,
budget next year.
And I didn't want to get ahead of my game here, but I'm looking at the bond ordinance that you're introducing, and it has 1.5 million for a fire truck and no match with a grant. So my question is the fire department going to be applying for any grants?
Yes, annually, the fire department applies for the AFG grant to possibly be awarded a partial, if not all, cost of a fire truck. And I don't believe those rewards have been put out to notice yet. I may be incorrect. But they do annually put out, submit grants through.
Yeah, there's a lot of money available right now, and you could probably get 2/3 of that cost covered by grant funds, not only from the fire protection agencies, but from the federal government, you know. So maybe Jeff Van Drew could get you some money.
And not to interject, that we can fund the ordinance, like this allows us to purchase it now, but it can also be funded. Like we don't have to issue debt. If we were to get grants, we would just fund the ordinance with those grants.
And the other thing I wanted to say was on that was that one of the towns I cover at my work just took delivery of a ladder pumper truck, and it cost them less than $800,000. So
Well, Lynette, the timeframe for delivery of fire trucks is 3
3
years,
years, right?
okay?
Well, they
So
got
when-
that
When we
agreement.
purchased our tower ladder, it was 1.2 million. Okay, it is now going up to 1.8 million. Okay.
Who's with?
The
The
municipality.
municipality where I work,
Oh,
So-
okay.
So regarding the cost of the truck, each municipality's fire department specs out trucks regarding their needs within the municipality. So whatever municipality you are referencing, they spec that truck out to service that municipality. Our municipality may need and probably does need different specs regarding the truck that they need to service us, the residents, to make sure they can provide the service.
Right. It would be nice to have the fire chief come to a council meeting and explain what he's asking for. Like, how tall is this? Is it a 75 footer, 100 footer? You know,
he's here than that.
So
sorry, I
Chief
can't hear what you
is
said.
present, and he's gonna take the floor
Same
to
time.
explain to you in detail what he is in need of.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Good evening. All right. I'm assuming you're talking about Absecon.
No, I'm not.
Or you're not?
Who got the fire truck? It was
Yeah.
the Ventnor.
Okay. All right, the ladder truck we're looking to purchase is 107 foot.
17.
It's replacing a 32-year-old fire truck. The truck is going to actually be 35 years old when we get the new one. If you go by NFPA standards, they're supposed to be replaced at 25 years. The truck's going to be 10 years older than what it's supposed to be. And if you're more than welcome to come to the firehouse, I'll show you any truck you want to see. We maintain our trucks very well.
I know you need a fire truck. I was at the parade when you
Okay.
got the last one. That was a long time ago. So I'm not, questioning the fact that you need a fire truck. I would just
Okay.
like to know more about
And
what you're ordering, you
it's
know.
107 foot. It'll be, it'll help us out over there at Rittenberg Manor. Our
Okay,
truck's a little bit short right now. And like I said, there is a need for the truck. The truck's starting to nickel dime us to death. We spend money,
yeah.
a lot of money every year, the fire department money.
So
keep
has
the
this
truck
all
running.
already been ordered?
No.
You haven't put in the order yet?
City's got to pass the bond ordinance and all that.
Okay,
And then we got to order the truck, and it's going to be 2.5 years before we get it, from the time we sign the paperwork.
right.
And like Councilman Trifall said, we are trying to beat the November 1st deadline, or the truck's going to go up another $150,000, $160,000. And come next January, February, it could go up again. You don't know in today's world.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
anybody got any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
Because nobody can hear. I mean, you gotta move this up a bit here.
Will that complete everything, Ms. Galloway?
Now I got more. More resolutions here.
Please continue if you wish.
All right, my resolution on, well, I don't know what number it is because they're not numbered.
They are.
Just say the number on the agenda.
Yeah, I gotta go look back and forth. The one on the tax appeal. I don't know, what number is that? 18. So what's the deal with this tax appeal being settled amicably?
So one of the taxpayers filed a commercial tax appeal with the tax court. And we were able to resolve it without getting into too much litigation, and we avoided hiring an expert. And we need council's authorization to settle the matter.
So what happened when they appealed?
What happened?
Yeah, they go to the county to appeal their taxes, right? What happened?
The city won, and they appealed from the tax board's determination.
So after when they appeal the decision of the county, aren't they supposed to go to the state?
That's where they are. The tax court is the appeal. Once you file your appeal with the county tax board, if it's unfavorable to you, you don't like it, your next avenue is to file a tax court appeal with the state. And this is what we're resolving.
Okay, so what's the deal then?
The deal what? What was the settlement?
You're changing the assessed valuation of the property?
Exactly, so.
What, from what to what?
That's not, the terms of the settlement are not disclosable, so what happened was, this was a sale. And the taxpayer wanted the assessment to be the sale price.
Say this
So
again, I'm sorry, because I can't hear, it's hard to hear. Say it again.
the settlement per se, I'm not at liberty to say, but essentially what happened was the taxpayer wanted the property assessed at the sale price, basically what they paid for the property. At the first go around, the city was unwilling to do that because it's not normal procedure. Generally speaking, when a sale occurs and the property is assessed, many factors go into the deliberation of the tax assessment. So once it got appealed, in order to avoid the litigation costs, frankly, and the expert fees, because we would have needed to hire an expert to determine the value for the tax court, we decided to resolve the matter.
Okay, well, I did a little bit of research and the property is assessed at $391,000. And
I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to say what the.
well, it's public record and I got it from the tax collector today. So the property is assessed at $391,000. Right now, and he paid $250,000 for it in December. So that's the deal. You're reducing it to the sale price?
I'm not at liberty to tell you the terms of the settlement, but you're right. I mean, in the future, it will be public record and you can look up anybody's tax assessment going forward, and you can look up anybody's tax assessment going back. But the particular terms of this settlement, I'm not at liberty to say. This was discussed in executive session, and there's a reason why it's executive session, because it was litigation.
Yeah, but you got a resolution here and you're going to do it. And I'm asking what is in this resolution? And you're saying you
The
can't.
resolution simply says that we will resolve the matter amicably, and that's what happened.
Well, so the public listening in on this would know, our properties in Egg Harbor City are currently assessed at 84.77% of assessed value of true value. So reducing it from 391,000 and if you do the math and just pick, say, okay, we're going to give them the benefit of that and give them 84% of value, it would reduce it to $331,000. So, it's important to know that when you're, reducing the tax liability for one person, it affects everyone else. So I would like to know exactly how much the city's losing in tax revenue by making this deal. And I also would like to know other stuff, like what's the intention of this owner? Is he going to open up a bowling alley, or is he just going to sit on it and let it rot and appeal his taxes again next year? Because it seems to be like a trend in Egg Harbor City, where people just they buy properties as an investment, they don't take care of them, they appeal their taxes, and I'm suffering for it because I'm paying full rate. So I think you really should disclose all of this stuff before you pass the resolution.
As far as the tax assessment, we have a tax assessor who's fully qualified to make determination as to what each property is assessed, and he does an excellent job in doing that.
Yeah, well, I would think so.
This
too.
was the only appeal that went to the board this year. So he did a heck of a job at assessing all the rest of the properties. And this was the only litigated tax appeal that Egg Harbor has had, at least since I've been here, which is 3 years. This is the only time anyone ever took it to court. And
he lost.
so whatever decision was made was not done lightly. And also, any taxpayer, you included, Nanette, could have the possibility of filing a tax appeal if you weren't happy with the assessment.
Yeah, well, my house is well kept, so I won't get rejected as well. So, okay, and then on to the next item here is, I don't know what number it is. It's on the Harbor City Holdings trash reimbursement.
Oh, that's me too.
Okay, so I remember the discussion, but what was decided? Is this company going to hire their own trash collection and we're going to reimburse them, or are they going to do through the ACUA?
Okay, so, the municipality has a statutory responsibility for multifamily dwellings, either pick up their trash or reimbursement for someone else to pick up their trash. These folks asked the city to reimburse them beginning in, I think, June or July this year. So we looked at their contracts with Waste Management and provided for, I think, $13,000 a year with a bump up for the second and the third year. Then our CFO was kind enough to get proposals from the ACUA and from Gold Medal, who were significantly higher for the coming years, even at the third year bump. I think Gold Medal was like 18,000 and ACUA was like 16,000. So it was in the best interest of the city to reimburse them for their trash removal. So that's what we're going to do. That's what I recommend council to do.
Okay, and then the next one was the Sunrun installation services to reimbursement of $475.
Oh, that's it for me.
Yes. And then that, the building department gave that to me. They applied for a permit, the company Sun, I think it's Sunrun. They applied for a permit and the homeowner canceled the project. So they want their money back minus the 20% administrative.
So why are we giving the money back? I mean, if somebody, if the homeowner canceled the contract, why aren't they picking up this charge? Why does the city have to give it back?
It really was, it was the money paid to the building department for the inspections that the inspector would make, but he didn't have to do that because the project was canceled.
Okay,
We still got the administrative fee for them reviewing the project and issuing the permits.
all right, I think that's it.
I think it's statutorily, we are not allowed to keep somebody's money if there's no need for it.
Right, okay, so the inspections haven't been done, so that's
No,
why. you're giving
The
it back.
project was
Okay.
canceled.
All right, thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor, the floor is yours for your report.
First of all, I had a meeting with Dominican County Coalition for Safety Community. They've gotten a grant to start a wrestling program at the community school. I might next week before but they're going to have a press release on October 14th at 10:30 a.m. at the community school. And they would like city council to come here if anyone's available.
What was the date again?
October 14th at the community school, starting at 10:30 a.m. The attorney general will be there. Also, we got word from the, we had a discussion about the Serpentine Creek over there at East Pilgrim and how it was clogged, fever issues and all that. So American Water has a group called American Inaction Group, and they have volunteered to clean out the creek. So that will solve that problem, hopefully. I also mentioned the last meeting, I think that I had a meeting with American Water, and they are ready and willing to meet with anybody in any venue to discuss what's gonna happen going forward. As a matter of fact, they already have it planned out, but they are going to do, they have a whole, whole process that they go through to educate the public. So that, more info on that as we move along the process. Also, the Economic Development Corporation, we have 2 representatives here tonight. They're planning a fall festival on October 15th. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on our official Facebook page. And hope everybody can come out and be a part of that. Cedar Creek Fall Fest will be September 30th. That's at Cedar Creek High School. And the Moravian Church wanted to mention that this is after 2 years, they're having their German dinner once again. It's at the Moravian Church on Saturday. I believe it starts at 4:30, but that's also
Takeout only.
takeout only. That's this Saturday. And that's also on the Facebook page. Also, I'm probably not supposed to mention this, but we did receive an award. I won't mention too much of it, but we did receive an award for a forestry achievement, and more to come on that. I'm not sure. But that's all for the hard efforts we put into our trees and our forests, things like that. And if you haven't seen the plan for the nature trail that Michael Sheridan is helping us with, I have a copy of it. I can send it to you if you'd like to see it. It's really, really professional. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go with some of the committee members next Friday to receive the grant from the city. We're going to do a presentation on that trail. Also, I would ask by the county that there is a resolution declaring October, designating October 6th, 2022 as Knockout Opioid Abuse Day. I have a sample resolution here. Anyone would like to see it, but basically it just says that they just want to declare October 6th designated as Knockout Opioid Abuse Day in New Jersey.
Excuse me, we have done it the last
Yeah,
2
we do
years,
it every year.
but they send it kind of late, we don't have.
So that's that for that one.
Do you want to act on that now?
Yeah. wait till she's finished.
And that's. Oh, the Pinelands, I don't know if you had that on your list, Ryan, but we got the CMP standards for the.
Yeah, they signed off.
Yeah, they signed off, there's no further action. Accepted our proposal.
Yeah, anytime you modify a land use ordinance, you need to send it to finance just for concurrence.
And that's all I have. I do want to mention that the chief of police will not be here this evening. She has back to school night at Cedar Creek. If you would like me to go over that report now, I can. If you want to wait, that's fine too.
No, you can.
Okay. 2 burglaries, 2 fraud, 1 simple assault, 2 stolen motor vehicles, 5 thefts. That's a total of 12 offenses and crimes traffic related motor vehicle accidents 5, pedestrian stop check 6, traffic stops 24, total 35, traffic related. Summonses, I don't see any here, but there's a total, it says 29. DUI arrest 0, and total arrest including DUI 7. Other incidents, alarm business 12, alarm residential 1, crime prevention activity 154, criminal mischief 1, domestic 3, EMS incidents 25, firearm application 4, follow-up 10, property check 480, public service 12. That's a total of 702. So the current year call for service is 13,417. That's all.
Thank you. Regarding the resolution for knockout opioid day of October 6th. All right, all in favor of it?
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, let's move on to committee chair reports. I'll finish up with my report at the end. We'll go through with everybody. Safety, I'll start with Councilman Trifle.
Safety, I know the police department, they did some training yesterday, fire department, we did, I know we've gone to many meetings that are dealing with things that are occurring within the county. So that's it. This is what we brought up today.
All right, Councilwoman Heist, highway, along with property parks and playgrounds.
Highway Department, I have a report from Mr. Adams. Starting off with the maintenance of the leaf vacuum is in for repair because suction line rotted. Going through all snowplow maintenance now because the parts lead time if we need them, because the parts have lead time if they need them. Completing some draining work along Bremen Avenue. Completed all our yearly trainings by 9/21. Looking forward to the Hardenberg group putting on the snowplow rodeo for the guys. Leaf schedule is set to start on 10/17 and will go through 12/22. It covers each road 3 times. That will be on the website, the schedule. The street sweeper is back and running. The lake closure is completed except winterization of the concession stand building. And finally, they're excited to announce they placed our first order for an enterprise fleet and have 223 Ram 2500 trucks coming. That will be
2023 Ram 2500. We're not getting 200.
We're not getting that.
2 2023 Ram 2500 trucks coming. That will be equipped with 8-foot plows and lighting. And that's it. Being you pick on.
Anything for parks and
No. Anyway.
playgrounds. Utility, Councilman Wright.
Just got Keys report here, report for 8/26 to 8/22. There was 117 mark out requests, 27 meter readings on repairs, 65 total calls for service, including after hours. 11 days of training and working with the New Jersey American. He's been working with New Jersey American contractors for some upgrades and to make the transition day easier. Water plant office cleared out, continue moving stuff to next office.
So you moving in with Megan Johnson?
I am. I just don't know yet.
Is that all?
Yes.
Councilman Dash, nothing to report. All right, Councilwoman Brown, license ordinance, school board.
Nothing.
Thank you. Councilman Timbers, land use for Aaron Haven.
Aaron Haven, they had a brief meeting on Monday, the 19th. It was at the Roundhouse. There was a land use board meeting, and they had 3 items to discuss. The first was recommendation for the street vacation, that's paper streets. That issue we talked about here last month. Also, there was a gentleman came in and he wanted to discuss the waiver of paving and curbing requirements. He wanted to take over development, put in 3 houses. How it was off Bremen Road, and he was concerned that the cost of that was going to be prohibitive to the actual development. So that should be coming to us probably after the next meeting. Also, there was a cannabis company, Greenleaf LLC. They purchased the old Wells Fargo bank on Philadelphia Avenue, and they were coming in seeking variance if they needed, because they were concerned that maybe they could D variance or C variance. However, it was determined that C variance would be, if they did need a variance, that's what they would need. And that was voted on. There were, most of the uses were pre-existing, just not all of them actually. So there was really no issue once we determined that C variance would be.
Thanks, sir. Meg, anything from Chip?
Nothing.
Councilwoman Hesse, Sustainable Agro City.
There was no meeting this week. However, I just wanted to remind everyone about the ACUA's Drive Electric event. It will be in person next Wednesday, the 28th, from 4 to 6. There'll be a virtual gathering will be held on the 27th. So if you want more information, just go to the acua.com website. The next sustainable meeting will be September 27th, and it will be held at the Lake Pavilion, weather permitting, 4 o'clock. And for Rotary, I just want to update you on the Halloween parade. Everything has been finalized, so there will definitely be a Halloween parade this year. So that will be wonderful. And as it gets closer, I'll fill you in on the specifics. And their next meeting will be next week as well, September 27th at 5:30. And that's all I have.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna finish up with the finance report. I do ask that council, here's what I have to say, because it was a very time sensitive matter. Regarding a late resolution that was emailed earlier tonight. So Wednesday morning, I received a call from our mayor informing me that our CFO had accepted an offer from Ventnor at a salary of $141,000 to be appointed tonight, giving us 3 weeks notice, reporting to Ventnor October 19th. The mayor and I discussed the impact of losing our CFO that it would have on the operations of the city, considering she is ultimately dual role employee as CFO and human resources officer, along with other designated duties and responsibilities that would otherwise be handled by an IT person or a business administrator employee. Losing her could have led to hiring 2, if not 3 certified individuals to complete the roles and responsibilities accomplished by her on a daily basis. Now, possibly leading to an overall higher total salary and benefit package if that was to happen. The mayor and I mutually agreed for me to call her to essentially negotiate to see how we can have her remain employed with us. Spoke with the finance committee about the situation, and they gave me the go ahead to see what we could do to keep her. Literally after 36 phone calls between the finance committee, the mayor, city solicitor, and CFO, we came to a mutual agreement with our CFO to retain her at a salary of $135 and increasing time off, which does not affect the city monetarily regarding the time off. The timeline of the events leads us to where we are tonight. I personally apologize for ultimately the short notice of this. Due to the timeline I was informed of that was already put in place, we literally had our backs up against the wall. Tonight, if there are no questions or concerns when we get to it regarding what has transpired since the late 11 a.m. yesterday morning to the present now and the resolution at hand, I simply would ask council to consider and accept the resolution, make a motion second, and have a roll call vote tonight. That is pretty much the facts that have led up to where we stand right now. I don't think the mayor, would you have anything contrary to what I have disclosed? No. So just, I would ask that we all take it into consideration, considering where we are and the timeline of events and what was handed to us. So that would be my finance report. Moving on to our CFO report. Jody, do you have anything? All right. City clerk, Meg?
Oh, I did receive There was one liquor license that we haven't renewed yet for Egg Harbor Fest House. They were waiting for a 1239 ruling, which is when a license is in pocket. That's what we call it when, that's what the ABC calls it when they're not actively using it. But if they were backed up with their 1239 rulings, that get them every 2 years. So they did say they have no problem renewing it. So I'm just putting it before you guys. If you want me to put on the next agenda, I will do so, but I did get it the other day after I did the agenda. So I'm asking if we could approve it tonight or I'll put it off till I can put it on the agenda.
Is it time sensitive?
Well, it was supposed to be renewed July 1st, so.
Okay. Yeah, we can,
And
Anybody-
it's still in pocket, there's been no changes, so.
understand. Anybody have any questions or comments regarding this? If not, may I have a motion?
Second.
Any roll call?
No. And then I did send out an email, but I just want to mention it, that the Macedonia Baptist Church from South Egg Harbor sent an email that their pastor passed away, Reverend Barnes, and wanted me to send out the information, which I did. And they're asking if anybody would like to attend the service, and if they want to speak to call those people, if they'd like to speak on Reverend Barnes.
And I'm going to pass through there at the viewing, and I will have a proclamation prepared.
Did you call them?
No.
They just asked them. Okay. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Angela, city attorney report.
Just a few things. So the mayor is correct, the Pinelands approved our cannabis ordinance, so that was good news. And I have the tax court appeal resolution for your consideration that discussed in Galloway. And I also have the Harbor City Holdings resolution, which I also discussed with Galloway. The only one left is number 19, the resolution authorizing the title search. Those are for the two properties that you had last month to convey to the city. So in order for us to do that, I recommend a title search about $600 to $700 per search for two parcels, just to make sure there are no other needs or nothing going on, especially because I looked up deeds prior to that and they were from a trust. So I tried to get the Haviland give me the irrevocable trust, but I can't get a hold of them. I had Donna try to do that. I talked to the daughter as well, and so I don't recommend you proceed without a title, not a full title search, it's just a title review. That's it. Questions?
Any questions for Angela? All right, thank you.
I just have one question. You said it's not a full title search, so there wouldn't be anything that would be left out.
They won't guarantee the title. In order for us to get a whole title search, it might cost $2,000 or $3,000 per. So what they will do is they will give me a search of the property with any and all liens. They'll tell me if in fact the trust is what created. And I doubt they will have a copy of the trust, but maybe they will. And that's what I sort of do for $700.
I just want to make sure it wouldn't cost us more, down the road.
No, we're going to be spending more money.
Thank you. Mr. McGowan.
Sure, just a couple things. We're moving along with the design of the 1 and 200 blocks of Chicago and 1 and 200 Washington. We're still waiting on the announcement for state aid for the 1 and 300 blocks of Liverpool. But the bond ordinance that's being introduced this evening would essentially cover the difference from what we got funded and what we need to actually finish both blocks for the first project and for Liverpool. When we get the state aid announcement, we'll sort of reimburse that portion of the bond with whatever we get from the state. So we know that will be there. Atlantic Avenue, we're still stalled waiting for word back from Next Electric and what Verizon reached out to both of them today. Haven't heard from either. But we're still full right in the middle of the Pathfinder Street, so we're kind of stuck until Pulse. So that's really it for me. And some easy questions.
How we looking on the New Orleans project?
Subdivision?
Yeah.
Submit that next.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions for Ryan?
Do you have any dates, or do you have to wait to get dates for starting these projects?
So the 2020, yeah, the fiscal 2021, 2022 project, we're actually gonna do both under one bid, both at the same time, which gives better pricing, 4 blocks instead of 2. That we need to award before November 16th. So we're working on it now. We're gonna advertise it in October. We'll open bids the beginning of November and award at probably the first council meeting in November, which should be 4 to 16.
So awarding means it starts, you start.
So awarding is, we award a contract to somebody, we're gonna have to draft those contracts, have a pre-construction meeting. A couple of steps before that. But yeah, it's possible that construction will start on that one this fall in November or December. It'll sort of depend on the contractor's schedule, when they think they can get done. You don't want to pay them past the middle of December or so. And if that's the case, they'll probably delay the start and start sometime in February, so they can pay in March. That's what plans typically come back up. They'll close.
You're saying those would be working, you'd be working.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Yeah, the 2 projects, my guess is that the contractor will want to do all phases of work at a time. So all the concrete work, all the road prep, all the paving, economies of scale, moving your equipment and doing it all at once. You know, sort of piecemeal, jump back and forth between phases of the project.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, more the solar proposal, waiting for an updated proposal from NEP that come in working previously. Since the updated program passed, they're going to long past, I suppose. The solar incentives are much more attractive than they were after the TREC expired. So we're expecting a much more competitive proposal. There's also a new option for municipalities. We always approach solar projects for municipalities and school boards as had to do a PPA. That's the only way it would work financially, because the city and the school board we're not entitled to tax refund essentially. There's a 30 to 40% tax rebate for eligible parties. You weren't eligible previously. Now you are. The law changed it, so now it's a direct tax refund. So you can get 30% of the project cost refunded to you, potentially up to 40% depending on where the materials are sourced. So he's going to present both options, both as a PPA and as a direct purchase. We'll sort of compare them and see what kind of rates you can get. So you may be able to just buy it outright instead of having to. We'll just come back and sit down about it.
Okay. Also regarding the item, Councilwoman Hesse, that you asked questions about. So everyone is aware, it is a very time sensitive matter. So if you haven't received or looked at the email, next month's meeting is being pushed up 1 week onto the 7th. It is 10th. Yes. And that's solely due in part to us moving forward with that.
Yeah, our work deadline was the 16th, our meeting was scheduled for the 17th. So
Yes.
So we're just going to be 1 week to the 10th. And we'll be able to award our funding deadline.
Yes. So just to make everyone aware of that, they did not already know. So does anybody have any other questions for Ryan?
Real quick one, Western Avenue.
So that's the one that will be awarded the 10th really. So we'll award them, again, on the contractor schedule. If they're ready to go, they could be out there the 21st. They can knock it out in a couple of weeks, and then depending what they want to do, they might start then, or they won't start.
Can you let me know if it's,
Oh, yeah.
the children on the corner, buses and stuff, construction?
Yeah, we'll flesh all that out as it comes up. I'll bring it back to council.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to number 14. There's a motion to approve the use of the Egg Harbor City Lake and Campground Autumn Adventure Camporee scheduled for October 28th through 30th of this year. Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Number 15, previously spoken about, resolution to addendum to the collective bargaining agreement between the city of Egg Harbor and Teamsters Local 331 pertaining to employee salary. Are there any further questions or comments from council regarding this?
Motion, I'll second.
Member roll call, please.
Antonisi? Yes. Brown?
Yes.
Dash?
Yes.
Ice? Yes. Hesse? Yes. Timbers?
Abstain.
Trump? Tribal?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Number 16 is a resolution and addendum to the collective bargaining agreement between the city of Egg Harbor and Teamsters Local 331 pertaining to retiree health benefits. If anyone on council has any comments, ma'am, go.
Make a motion, second.
Roll call, please.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist. Yes. Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Abstain.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Number 17, previously spoken about the emergency budget appropriation regarding the purchase of a fire truck to fund the down payment for the bond ordinance. If there's no further questions or comments, ma'am.
I'll make a motion, second.
Roll call.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse. Timbers.
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Excuse me. Number 18 is a resolution, also previously spoken on, authorizing the settlement of tax court appeal for 1,400 Horse Pike. No questions or comments? May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Roll call, please.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
No.
Timbers.
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Number 19 is the authorization for the title search for real properties located at 300 through 318 Baltimore Avenue and 350 Baltimore Avenue. If there's no questions or comments, motion please.
Second.
Roll call.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Resolution to cancel a grant for Municipal Alliance 2020 through 2021 in total dollar amount, I believe is what, 69.75.62. Jody, is that stuff right? There's no questions or comments. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Roll call, please.
I have a question. I don't know exactly what this is. Is it just grants?
Yes.
So at the end of the year, if there's any grant, either receivable or appropriations that can't be spent or will not be received for some reason, cancel them and we get off the books. So this was mostly during COVID when they weren't really having many of the programs that the Alliance funded, so there has to be a balance left of the year, so we're just canceling that. So again, there's a receivable to be spent when it really can't be spent. Thank you.
Roll call.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Number 21 is a resolution requiring claimant certification of certain types of transactions. May I have a little bit more clarification for everyone on council?
So, if anyone's seen a purchase order, there's signatures on the bottom. One is my signature, one is the department head approving it, and one the vendor has to sign off on it. So this basically, the state passed a law a couple of years ago saying that you don't need to get a vendor to sign the purchase order unless it's either an employee reimbursement or it's an individual. You don't have to worry about getting like someone from a company. So this will just make processing our purchase order, it bills. We're getting an invoice. It doesn't change anything. You'll still have all the documentation, but you don't have extra paperwork back and forth. It'll really simplify the accounts payable process, not having to ask the vendor to sign the purchase order. And I did run it by the auditors as well, just to make sure they were okay with it. They said that they were fine with it.
All right, before an acceptance, may I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to 22 is the authorization to authorize execution of an agreement with Harbor City Holdings LLC for trash reimbursement. Any questions or comments on this?
I'll make the motion.
Roll call, please.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse. Timbers.
No.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Number 23 is, as previously spoken on, authorize a refund of building department fees for Sun Run Installation Services Incorporated. Job has been canceled. Have a motion.
I'll make it second.
Second.
Roll call.
Antonisi. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Heist. Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Number 24 is the introduction of the ordinance number 30.
Council President, before we do that, can we do the resolution of the city of Egg Harbor amending the salary resolution of 2022?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Yes.
Oh, I said amended the salary.
Before we go to roll call, is there any questions or comments or concerns regarding this resolution?
Could you allow, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what we're voting on.
It's regarding the finance report pertaining to our CFO and retaining her salary.
No, salary.
This is the resolution.
Okay, thanks.
All right, any other further comments or questions? If not, may I have a motion?
We did that.
Oh, yeah, sorry. A roll call, please.
Antonisi? Yes. Brown?
Yes.
Dash?
Yes.
Heist?
Yes.
Hesse?
Yes.
Timbers?
Yes.
Trithol?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Ritchie?
Yes. All right. The resolution.
Sorry.
That's what
I did say that.
Okay, now I'm gonna move on to 24. For the introduction of ordinance number 13 of this year, 2022, the bond ordinance that was previously spoken on. May I have a motion to introduce if there are any questions or further comments?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor to introduce? All right, I have a motion to advertise introduction in the Hamilton Gazette on the 28th of September for a public hearing on the 13th of, not the 13th of October, wait, 10th of October, is that the date? The date on that?
No, you're next, no, it's November, it's still October.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make that
October.
motion.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you, sorry. Number 25 is the introduction of ordinance number 14 of this year, 2022, the salary ordinance update. If there's no further questions or comments regarding this, may I have a motion to introduce?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I also have a motion to advertise on the 28th for hearing on the 13th?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, at this time, I would like to have a motion to open up for public hearing on ordinance number 12, 2022, to vacate the rights of way on portions of Saki Street, Harlem Avenue, and Hamburg Avenue, in the city of Egg Harbor.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we're now open for public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak on this ordinance? Going once, going twice. May I have a motion to close?
Second.
All in favor of closing?
Aye.
All right. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 12, 2022?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I also have a motion to advertise on the 28th of this month?
I'll make that motion.
We do need to roll call.
You don't have one. All right, well, we're going through all that. Roll call, please.
Antonisi? Yes. Brown?
Yes.
Dash?
Yes.
Heist?
Yes.
Hesse?
Yes.
Timbers?
Yes.
Trithol?
Yes.
Wright?
Yeah.
Ritchie?
Yes. And the motion has been made to advertise on the 28th with a second. All in favor? Moving on to 27, if we can have a motion, please, Bill.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Antonisi? Yes. Brown?
Yes.
Dash?
Yes.
Heist?
Yes.
Hesse?
Yes.
Timbers?
Yes.
Trithol?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Ritchie?
Yes. Mayor, the floor is yours for any last comments.
I don't have anything.
All right, Councilwoman House.
I have nothing, thank you.
Councilwoman Brown,
I have nothing, thank you.
Councilman Dash.
Yeah, I have two things. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for Jody staying on board. A lot of people realize there's really a few people that run the city, and Jody is one of them. So I'm very happy that we all came together in that. Also, I would like to thank the chief isn't here today, but I would like to thank the chief. I had dealings with Egg Harbor City Police Department 2 times last week. First time when 2 of my dogs got out of my yard while I was at work. And the police department, public works, code enforcement, they all worked together. They had my dogs contained in that city hall within about 10 minutes. So great job there. And then, of course, the second one I had with the Egg Harbor City Police, I was at my other residence and my burglar alarm went off at my house.
The alarm company called me, I called the police department, as did the alarm company, and they were at my house and searched the area within minutes. So, great job by our police department, city employees, as always, very much appreciated.
Thanks, Mike. Councilman Trifon?
That's what it follows. I'd like to thank our department, the fire truck committee, for putting together, the good truck that will last us years, and I know they take care of. I was still in high school when I graduated. I was thinking came back from the city. Okay, John. I'm just saying, I'm not that correct. So, I know they take care of it. It's gonna serve the city well. So thank you. And the city employees, like I said, did a cheap sort of.
Councilman Timbers?
I do want to say,
Feel free, take your time.
so one of the things when we're up here, that sometimes I have to remember why. One thing is, when I sat at home, I paid my tax, or I saw my tax bill come in, saw my water bill come in. I always looked at it and I stared at it for a second. And it's over. Like, wow, I'm a homeowner. I gotta pay these bills. And when I step on the dais, and sometimes resolutions or ordinances come and they say, okay, well, we want to adjust or amend or somehow reward people for their work. I have to temper that and remember that it's not me that pays someone or rewards someone. It literally is the taxpayer. It's the person who looks at their bill and takes a moment to look at it again and say, is this real, right? And we work and we celebrate the fact that we can make at the end of the year, we can say your taxes are flat. But what most people want is for the taxes to go down. And I don't think that if we're being fiscally responsible, and we're really looking at that, we have to, I guess, be cognizant of the fact that we really are not in competition with towns that have larger budgets, that have more residents. That we have to be mindful of the needs of the town first, right? You have to make sure that we're getting what we think is best for the town, right? And sometimes that's going to cost, right? Gotta be honest with that. But then we also have to recognize that we may not be able to afford premiums. And that's the only thing I have to say. So if you hear me abstain, it's because I'm sitting there and my eyes are taking a minute to pause, and I don't think, well, maybe I don't have all the information to render an opinion. And I don't want to say no, so I'm going to abstain. So I wanted you to understand. And I just want to hear.
Thank you. Councilman Wright?
No.
Councilwoman Hesse?
I just wanted to also say, I'm glad Jody is staying on with us. She's definitely valuable asset for us. And I would also like to just extend my condolences to Reverend Barnes' family. And lastly, I would just like to say, coming up on Saturday, there will be a seed and plant swap from 10 to noon. And it's being held at the Log Cabin on Philadelphia and Carter Street. So everyone and anyone is welcome to come out and you can swap plants and seeds, or if you don't have it, there will be some that you can take. So 10 to 12, come on out. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Antonisi? All right, before I go to public comment, I just want to say.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Did you forget you?
Did I forget?
Never. My apologies. So thank you.
So before I go to public comment, I just want to say a couple things. So first and foremost, Mayor, I want to thank you and for us, two of us working mutually regarding the situation that we were placed in over the past 24 hours. It felt refreshing, and I hope it continues, and I hope we can continue to open dialogue. We had our backs up against the wall. You entrusted in me to take action on a situation that could have more than likely been irreversible. And together we made it happen along with the finance committee. And I also want to thank the council, everybody up here on council, for actually hearing and listening to the situation that was handed to the mayor and myself and the finance committee, and the actions that we had to take under the time constraint that was at hand. So I hope we can continue to do that. We have a great team up here, a diverse team that thinks independently on and works in the best interest of our employees and our residents. And I honestly, personally, don't feel any better. I'm sorry, I feel really good about who I sit next to up here. So with that, I would like to open it up to the public for any final comments. So if anybody from the public would like to speak, you are now at your time. Yeah, one up.
Somebody there? Okay.
One question. So Tracy Mulhern, 314 Arago Street. I heard saying something about Pineland's approval of cannabis ordinance. Pineland's approval of cannabis.
Sure, so anytime you make a revision to your land use, it has to be reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission. We modified our ordinance to allow multiple zones based on the changes to state law.
But grown on the ground.
Not, I mean, there's a ton of regulations and licenses. It's not just gonna grow your backyard.
Is that why you're in?
I'm not gonna check. That's not permitted. Right, when we adopted the ordinance last year, the commission concurred that our ordinance is acceptable and has no substantial impacts. They didn't see an issue. So that's, like I said, anytime you make a change to your land use ordinance, they need to sign off. That's all it was.
So I guess, so if it all goes through the process, we have like cannabis seller. So they're not gonna be growing cannabis in a enclosure, they're actually might be growing it outdoors. Is this what it is? It's gonna be actually.
The way that
Sorry.
the way that the licenses are structured, there's 6 different categories. The city opted in to allow 1 retail use in the retail commercial zone, which is the Philadelphia Avenue corridor, and 1 in the highway commercial zone, which is Route 30. So we were allowing 1 of each in those locations. We allowed the other 4 use classes, delivery, cultivation, manufacturing, and in the industrial zones. So those will be permitted uses in the industrial zones. So cultivation, manufacturing, processing, any of those can occur as permitted uses in industrial zones. For the retail, we need not only a state license, but a city license. So the state has not issued any full retail licenses yet, so we're still waiting for that to be full. But that's where we're at. And again, we made a change in land use ordinance to do it finalized, whether it was for cannabis or sidewalks or parking or whatever. Any kind of change you make to land use ordinance has to be finalized. They have signed off.
Okay, thanks so much.
Ryan, can I just?
Yeah.
As far as the cultivation, that can be outside, right? It doesn't have to be enclosed, or doesn't have to be enclosed.
I don't know.
That we have.
That's the state. Yeah.
Not be outside.
I'm pretty sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, no.
Wait, what kind of seeds have you grown? That's only there.
It can't be grown in this soil.
It won't grow.
No, there's some, every impurity that's in it.
If y'all were here 12 years ago, we found all new
And it's 13 feet tall. And irrigation system, everything.
Anybody else from the public have any final comments for us? Going once, going twice.
Yep,
Have a motion to adjourn. Somebody have something? Ms. Galloway, do you have something?
Yes,
Sure.
I wanted to congratulate Jody that, she's finally getting what she's worth here for Egg Harbor City. But if you took the other job, the numbers would be different, but the challenges would probably be the same. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'll thank you on behalf of Jody. Anybody else from the public? All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. That's what I meant.
Yeah.